Divorced men. What happened when she tried to make peace and got rejected? Story 1. My ex-wife didn't come back with flowers. She came back with a script. We've been divorced 3 years. She cheated with a guy from her gym, moved in with him, and spent the whole divorce telling everyone I was emotionally abusive because I dared to be angry about it. I lost mutual friends over that line. Then her gym guy dumped her. Suddenly she's on my doorstep with a Tupperware of lasagna, big watery eyes, and a speech. I just want peace, she says, for the kids. I've done so much work on myself. I'm not the same person. I let her talk on the porch while our kids played Minecraft inside. She takes accountability, but every sentence has a twist. I'm sorry you felt betrayed. I'm sorry things got messy. I'm sorry if I hurt you. Like it all just happened to us. Then she drops the real reason. I'd like us to do holidays together this year. Maybe even a family trip sometime. The kids miss that. There it was. She wanted the old family image back without the old commitment. She wanted the man who covered bills, fixed the car, booked vacations, but still keep her freedom and her healing journey brand. I looked her dead in the eye and said, no, we can co-parent, and that's it. We're not friends. We're not family. You burned that bridge. She froze, smile cracking. Wow, after everything, you're still so cruel. Cruel, I laughed. You blew up our marriage and then my reputation. I'll be civil for the kids. That's all you get. She tried to cry, asked if we could start small, with dinner all together. I opened the door and called our son. Buddy, Mom's leaving. Say bye. She stood there, stunned, while he hugged her and ran back inside. No dramatic scene, no screaming, just her, alone on the porch with her cold lasagna. That was the moment she realized making peace doesn't guarantee a welcome back. Some bridges you don't rebuild. You learn to live on the other side. Story 2. My ex-wife's peace offering came with a retainer fee. During the divorce, she went nuclear. False emotional abuse claims, tried to keep our daughter from me, dragged my name through court for 18 months. Judge eventually chewed her out for lying and gave us 50-50. I was broke, exhausted, and done. 4 years later, my life is better. I've got a stable job, a girlfriend who actually likes me, and a decent co-parenting rhythm via email and a parenting app. We only talk about our kid. No small talk, no nostalgia. Out of nowhere, she asked to meet face-to-face for closure. Says it's important. We meet at a cafe. She shows up in soft colors, no eyeliner. Therapist chic. She starts with an apology that sounds rehearsed. Talks about her childhood, her triggers, how therapy opened her eyes. I sit there, nodding, waiting for the twist. Then she brings up the house. The one I signed over to her in the divorce because I couldn't afford to keep it and fight for more custody at the same time. I'm behind on payments, she says. Interest rates, inflation, you know. I thought maybe, for our daughter's sake, we could reset. Maybe you could co-sign a refinance. Start over as friends. Be a united front. There it was. The peace was a sales pitch. I put my hands flat on the table. I accept your apology, I said. Honestly, I needed to hear it. But no, I'm not tying my finances to you ever again. She blinked, like I'd missed my cue. But this is for our child. Don't you want her to have stability? She already has stability, I answered. With me in my rental, which I pay for myself. I'm not risking that. Her tone flipped. You're still punishing me. I'm trying to fix things. No, I said. You're trying to fix the consequences. That's different. She left in a huff, told mutual friends I'm vindictive because I won't support the mother of my child. They asked my side. I told them she didn't come to make peace. She came for a bailout. I gave her one thing I'd never given her before, a boundary. And that was the one thing she couldn't cash. Story 3. My ex tried to make peace at my father's funeral. I rejected her in front of everyone, and I don't regret it. Backstory. She left me for her coworker. Classic, we're just friends. Turned, we didn't mean for this to happen. She moved out while I was visiting my dad in the hospital. I came home to a note and half my stuff gone. She painted me as controlling to justify it. My dad watched his son get gutted while hooked up to machines, and he still told me, do not take her back. You deserve better. Fast forward 2 years. Dad passes. At the funeral, I'm greeting people, trying not to fall apart. I turn around and there she is, in a black dress like she belongs there. People whisper. My sister's face goes white. She walks up, tears already loaded. I'm so sorry about your dad, she says, reaching for my arm. He meant a lot to me. I know I wasn't perfect, but he always said family can find their way back. She starts talking loudly, like she wants an audience. I've changed. I left that toxic relationship. I've realized what I threw away. Life's too short to hold grudges. Maybe this is a sign. She actually tried to turn my dad's death into our reconciliation arc. I stepped back so she couldn't touch me. You need to leave, I said. Her eyes widened. This is your grief talking. I just want us to be at peace. Your dad wouldn't want, don't use my father as a prop, I cut in. My voice came out sharper than I intended, but it was like something inside me snapped. You cheated, lied, and walked out while he was dying. Dad knew exactly who you were in the end. He told me to never let you back in. So I'm honoring his wishes. Get out. The room went silent. Pastor, cousins, everyone staring. She started crying harder, looking around like someone would rescue her. No one moved. My sister quietly stepped between us and pointed to the door. Please leave, my sister said. This day isn't about you. My ex left, sobbing into her hands, heels echoing down the aisle. Later, a cousin asked if I felt bad for making a scene. I told him the truth. For years, I let her rewrite our story. That day was the first time I wrote the ending myself. She tried to make peace when it would make her look compassionate. I rejected her in the one place I knew my dad would have clapped from the front row. Story 4. My ex didn't come crawling back because she missed me. She came back because her favorite weapon stopped working. Our son. During the divorce, she weaponized him hard. Alienation. Guilt. Dad left us. The whole script. I got labeled the bad guy for actually leaving after years of her cheating, screaming, and smashing things. Court gave her primary custody, me every other weekend. I played the long game. I never badmouthed her to our son. I showed up. Every visit, every holiday I was allowed, every school thing I was notified about. Paid support on time. Answered every call. By 15, he started to see through her. She forgot to mute herself on a call once and he heard her call me a walking wallet. Something broke in him. He asked the court to live with me. Judge listened. Custody reversed. She lost control. 2 months later, she texts, "Can we talk in person?" For peace. For son's name. I agree, but I suggest a public park. Neutral ground. She shows up with a folder of co-parenting plans she printed off Pinterest. Talks about forgiveness, second chances, a united front. She even suggests we spend Christmas together so he doesn't feel torn. I let her finish. Then I ask, so if the judge had told him no and he stayed with you, would we be having this conversation? She doesn't answer. I continue. You didn't want peace when you had all the power. You wanted war. You only want peace now that you're losing. Her voice goes cold. So you're just going to hold a grudge forever? This is about our child. No, I say. This is about you not liking consequences. I'm done being your villain, but I'm also not auditioning to be your friend. We can email about schedules and emergencies. That's the extent of our peace. She stares at me like I slapped her. You're poisoning him against me. I actually laughed. No, you did that. I just stopped cleaning up after it. She stormed off, muttering that I'm unforgiving. Maybe I am. Or maybe making peace isn't just crying when the script flips. Sometimes making peace means accepting that the person you hurt has every right to never, ever let you in again. I chose that kind of peace. With myself, not with her. Story 5. My ex tried to make peace at our daughter's wedding because she wanted a photo. She left when our girl was 8. Affair, chaos, the usual. For years, she popped in and out, promising therapy and change, then disappearing again. Our daughter eventually stopped asking when mom would show up. I was just dad, no hero, no martyr, just the one who stayed. Fast forward, daughter is 24, getting married. She invites her mom, against her own instincts because she's a better person than either of us. But, she tells me, you're walking me down the aisle. You're my constant. That's not up for debate. Ceremony goes smoothly. I somehow don't cry until the vows. After, while photos are happening, my ex beelines toward us, all smiles and perfume. Okay, she chirps, loud enough for the photographer to hear. Let's get a picture of the happy family, our bridegroom, mom and dad. My daughter visibly tenses. We already did parent photos, she says. My ex steamrolls. Come on, just one. For closure. For peace. We're all adults now. She grabs my arm like we're a team again. I gently pull away. No, I say. You can take a picture with your daughter. I'll step out. My daughter looks between us. Actually, she says slowly, I wanted a picture with dad alone. We already did one with you. The air changes. My ex laughs too high. Oh, honey, don't be like that. This is my day too, you know. I carried you for 9 months. I see my daughter's eyes harden in a way I've never seen. You carried me for 9 months, she says. Dad carried me for 24 years. My ex sputters. I'm trying to make peace. Why is everyone punishing me? You, she points at me, could at least back me up? Show some grace. Everyone's watching. Photographer, Bridesmaids, guests pretending not to eavesdrop. I take a breath. I have grace, I say. I don't have amnesia. Peace doesn't mean pretending you didn't leave or that I didn't raise her alone. You're here. That's enough. You don't also get to rewrite the story. My daughter steps closer to me and tells the photographer, "Picture with Dad, please." Then, to her mom, "You can stay and enjoy the reception, but you don't get to perform for Facebook." "Not today." The photographer lifts the camera. My ex stands there, tears welling, realizing she's not the main character of this scene. She tried to make peace when there was an audience and a lens pointed our way. We rejected it, not with screaming or drama, but with a simple boundary and a single photo she'll never be in. I'm sure somewhere online she'll post about her estranged family and how they wouldn't accept my apology. But when I look at that wedding picture, it's just me and my daughter, both of us smiling like people who survived the same storm and finally chose peace without the person who caused it. Story 6. My ex decided to make peace on a podcast. We've been divorced 2 years. She cheated, lied in court, tried to grab spousal support while living with her affair partner. The usual circus. I went no contact except for a parenting app. She hated that she couldn't poke me anymore. Then she starts a TikTok and podcast about healing from narcissistic abuse. Guess who the villain is? One day, a friend sends me a clip. It's her, dramatic music, fake tears. She says she's ready to take accountability and make peace with her past. She never says my name, but every detail is us. At the end, she announces, "I've invited my ex-husband to join me next episode so we can publicly reconcile and model forgiveness." News to me. Next day, she messages me on the app. "I think it's time we make peace. It would be so healing for everyone if you came on my podcast. I'll let you tell your truth. It'll be good for our child to see. So, peace, ours content." I reply, "No, I'm not doing content with you. Co-parenting only." She loses it. Says I'm choosing bitterness, that this is my chance to clear my name, that sponsors are interested and we could both benefit. I write one final message. "You made money lying about me. Now you want to make money forgiving me. I'm not a character arc. I'm the guy you blew up. Keep my name off your show or my lawyer will become your next topic." She blocks me on everything. But the next episode drops anyway. It's just her, sobbing into a mic saying, "He refused to make peace." Some people just want to stay angry. Comments are split. Some buy it. Some don't. But the people who actually matter, my kid, my friends, my coworkers, they see the pattern. She doesn't know how to make peace. She only knows how to make content. And I finally learned silence can be the loudest rejection. Story 7. My ex tried to make peace in our old church, right in front of the pastor who married us. She was the choir angel, I was the sound guy. Everyone thought we were perfect until her prayer partner became her soulmate, and she moved out with him. I stopped going to church. Too many pity looks, too much gossip. Years later, I visit on Christmas with my parents. I'm in the back row, trying not to think about our wedding day at the same altar. After the service, I'm heading for the door when I hear my name. I turn, and there she is, hands clasped like she's about to lead worship. "Hey," she says softly. "Can we talk? Just for a minute?" Pastor is nearby, pretending not to listen. She launches in, "I've been convicted about how I treated you. God's really worked on my heart. I'm so sorry for the pain I caused. I'd love if we could, I don't know, be at peace again. Maybe even serve together someday?" She says it loud enough that a couple of church ladies turn around. It hits me. This isn't about me. This is about her wanting to fix her image in the only community that ever told her, "You're such a good woman." I ask, "Are you sorry you cheated or sorry people found out?" She blinks. "I'm sorry I hurt you. That's not what I asked." Her voice tightens. "This is my vulnerability and you're mocking it? I came here humbly." "No," I interrupt. "You came here with an audience. You didn't call. You didn't email. You waited until I walked into the one place you still care what people think of you." Pastor finally steps closer. "Maybe this isn't the time." "It is for me," I say. "I forgive you. I have to keep living. But that forgiveness doesn't include being in your life. We will not be friends. We will not serve together. You're a stranger who happens to know my middle name." Her mouth actually drops open. "So, that's it?" she whispers. "You're rejecting my apology?" "I'm rejecting your performance," I answer. "You and God can work out the rest." I walked out. I heard later she told people I'm hardened and close to the Spirit. Maybe. Or maybe the most spiritual thing I've done is refuse to let her rewrite history in the house where she once looked me in the eyes and lied to God and everyone else. Story 8. My ex tried to make peace when her business crashed and mine took off. We started a small marketing agency together. I did the boring back-end work. She was the face, networking, pitches, Instagram. When she started sleeping with one of our clients, she tried to nudge me quietly out of the company. I lawyered up, took my share, and started over on my own. She kept the fancy brand name. I kept the actual skills. 2 years later, I've got steady clients and a small team. She, on the other hand, burned through money, gossip, and bridges. One morning, I get an email. Hey, stranger, long time. I've been doing a lot of healing. I hate how things ended. Would you be open to meeting and making peace? No pressure. I ignore it. Then she shows up at a networking event I'm speaking at. Waits until I'm off stage, then swoops in with a dramatic hug in front of everyone. Oh my God, look at you, she gushes. You're doing so well. I'm so proud of you. I peel her off. People are watching. She lowers her voice. Listen, I've been thinking. We were always stronger together. I know I messed up, but what if we collaborated again? People loved us as a duo. We could rebuild. Clean slate. There's the real ask. I smile. I'm glad you're doing whatever you're doing. But no, I don't collaborate with people who stole from me. Her eyes flash. Wow, can't believe you're still stuck in the past. I'm offering peace and opportunity. You're offering me a front row seat to your next disaster, I say quietly. I already saw that show, she hisses. So you're just never going to forgive me? I forgave you, I reply. If I hadn't, I'd still be trying to prove you wrong. Instead, I built something better without you. Forgiveness doesn't require partnership. A potential client overhears and later asks me privately, was that your ex-business partner? I just nod. He sighs. Yeah, she pitched us last month. We passed. Glad we did. She wanted peace because her empire was crumbling and mine wasn't. I rejected it because I finally understood. Sometimes the most professional move is also the most personal boundary, keeping the door locked to the person who set fire to the building last time. Story 9. My ex-wife tried to make peace from a hospital bed. We weren't on speaking terms. After the divorce, her affair, her lies, her spending, I went strict minimum contact. We don't have kids, no shared assets left. Just ghosts. Then one evening her sister calls me, voice shaky. My ex has had a health scare. Nothing immediately fatal, but serious enough to freak everyone out. She's asking for me. I debate it for an hour, then drive over. Old habits die hard. She's in a hospital gown, no makeup, looking smaller than I remember. She grabs my hand like we're still married. I didn't know who else to call, she says. I'm so scared. Laying here made me realize how stupid everything was. The affairs, the fights. I threw away a good man. I want us to have peace before it's too late. For a second, teenage version of me wanted that. The dramatic movie moment where we cry, forgive, fade to credits. But then I remember the years of gaslighting. Her telling her friends I forced her to cheat by not being affectionate enough. The way she laughed in court when I cried about losing the house I'd renovated with my own hands. Okay, I say softly. Let's have peace. I forgive you. She squeezes my hand. Does that mean we can start over? Maybe just as friends? Take it slow, see where it goes? There it is. No, I say. It means I don't wish you harm. I hope you recover, get therapy, live a better life. But I'm not in it. Her face crumples. So that's it? I bare my soul and you just walk away? You didn't bare your soul, I answer. You got scared and reached for the most familiar safety net. That used to be me. It isn't anymore. She starts to cry, accusing me of being cold and unfeeling while wired to machines. I stand. The nurses will take care of you. That's their job. Taking care of you stopped being mine the day you signed the divorce papers. I left. Her sister texted later to say she's fine and back home, and that my ex is hurt you rejected her when she was vulnerable. Maybe that's fair. But I spent years vulnerable with her while she twisted the knife. I didn't owe her a comeback to her just because mortality tapped her on the shoulder. Sometimes making peace means saying, I hope you live a long, happy life, very, very far away from mine. Story 10. My ex tried to make peace when her visa got denied. She's from another country. We married after a whirlwind romance, then spent 3 years in immigration hell while she flirted her way through half my friend group. I finally caught her cheating twice and filed for divorce. She stayed in the country on a work visa, started dating a guy with money, and bragged online about her soft life while posting vague quotes about surviving abuse. I kept my mouth shut. Let karma drive. 2 years later, I get a message out of nowhere. Hey, can we talk? It's important. I'm really sorry about everything and I want to make peace. I ignore it. She calls my work phone, then my mom's phone. Finally, I agree to meet at a cafe just to stop the harassment. She looks stressed. No designer bag this time. I don't know if you heard, she says, but my work visa wasn't renewed. I might have to go back. I've been thinking a lot about us. I'm so sorry. I was immature, selfish. You were always stable, kind. My therapist says I self-sabotage good things. I sip my coffee. I'm sorry that's happening. It sucks. She leans in. There might be another option. If we could show immigration that we reconciled, maybe even remarried, it could help both of us. We could take it slow. Just live together as roommates at first. Peaceful, you know? I just stare at her. So you want me, I say slowly, to marry you again so you don't have to leave the country. It would help us both, she insists. I can contribute, pay bills, we can rebuild. People grow, you know. This could be our second chance. I laugh. Actually laugh. People turn to look. Let me be very clear, I say. I'd rather sleep on a park bench than marry you again. I wish you well. In your home country. Her face twists. You're vindictive. I'm here trying to make peace and you're enjoying my pain. No, I answer. I'm enjoying my boundaries. Your peace is a business proposal with my life as collateral. She storms out, saying something about how Americans are heartless. A month later, a mutual acquaintance tells me she had to leave. Her Instagram now has long captions about how cruel her ex was and how she survived narcissistic abandonment. Maybe her followers believe it. Immigration doesn't care. I certainly don't. She tried to turn me into a walking passport stamp. I rejected her, not because I wanted revenge, but because I finally understood that let's make peace doesn't mean anything when it's just another way to stay in control. Story 11. My ex tried to make peace at my engagement party. She'd cheated on me with a coworker, emptied our joint account, and then went around telling everyone I was crazy controlling. We divorced, I moved cities, slowly rebuilt. 4 years later, I'm engaged to someone who actually likes me and doesn't scream if the dishwasher isn't loaded her way. My fiance's friends throw us an engagement party at a rooftop bar. Rooftop lights, music, everyone dressed up. I'm finally at a point where my divorce feels like a bad dream instead of an open wound. Then my buddy leans in and whispers, "Dude, don't freak out. She's here." I turn, and there she is, my ex-wife, standing by the elevator in a white dress, not even subtle, clutching a gift bag and scanning the room like she owns it. She walks up, ignoring my fiancé completely. "Can we talk?" she says, voice trembling just enough to sound cinematic. "Just you and me. 2 minutes. Please." My fiancé squeezes my hand. "If you want to," she says quietly. "You don't owe her anything." We step a few feet away. Not far. "I want witnesses." My ex takes a deep breath. "I heard you're getting married," she says. "I've been doing therapy and I realized I never truly apologized. I sabotaged something beautiful. I lied about you. I was selfish. I don't expect you to forgive me, but I'd like us to have peace. Maybe even be friends one day. I don't want any bad blood between us while you start this new chapter. It's almost perfect. If I hadn't lived the prequel, I'd be moved." "Who invited you?" I ask. She swallows. "I saw the event on Facebook. We still have mutuals. I thought, this is my last chance to make things right. To show I'm not that person anymore." "So you crashed my engagement party," I say slowly. "To make things right for you." She flinches. "No, for you. For both of us. Don't you want closure?" I look over at my fiancé, laughing with her friends, blissfully unaware of how insane this all is. "This is my closure," I say, gesturing to the room. "Right here. I don't need a scene from you to complete it." She tears up. "So you're rejecting my apology? After everything, you can't even—" "I'm not rejecting your apology," I cut in. "I'm rejecting your access. You can be sorry without being in my life. You lost that privilege when you treated my trust like disposable cutlery." Her eyes go hard. "Wow, I came here humbly, and you're humiliating me." "No," I reply, loud enough for the nearby tables to hear. "You humiliated yourself by crashing my engagement party in a white dress. You need to leave. Now." The bar goes quiet. Security, who's been hovering, steps closer. My fiancé walks over and stands beside me without saying a word. My ex looks around and realizes nobody is coming to save her. She mutters, "You're still the same cold bastard," and storms to the elevator. We watch the doors close. My fiancé just exhaled and said, "So, that's her." "Not anymore," I answered. And that was the real peace. She finally understood there's no version of my future where she gets a cameo. Story 12. My ex tried to make peace by ambushing me at family therapy. We divorced 3 years ago. She cheated, lied, and then did the kids weaponizing thing. Daddy abandoned us. Daddy cares more about his job, etc. Court-ordered co-parenting counseling, which she skipped half the time. Once the order ended, I stuck to the parenting app and neutral drop-offs. No calls, no casual texts, just logistics. Then she messages, "I found a great family therapist. I think it'd be so healing if we all went together. I want peace. for the kids. My first instinct is to say no, but our teenagers are clearly struggling with the divorce fallout, and the therapist specializes in blended step-family situations. After talking with my own counselor, I agree, but only for one session, with my current wife present. We show up. My ex is already in the room, tissues in hand, looking fragile. The therapist introduces herself, explains basic rules, then asks my ex why she asked for this. My ex launches into a monologue. Instead of focusing on the kids, it's all about her guilt, her healing, how she owns her mistakes, but feels punished endlessly. I just want us to be a family again, she sniffles. Not romantically, obviously. Just holidays together, birthdays, graduations. I want to be able to hug him without it being weird. We shared so much. Why can't we move past the hurt? The therapist gently redirects. What would that look like, specifically? My ex smiles through tears. Joint vacations. Maybe we all spend Christmas together. I could come over for Sunday dinners sometimes. I want the kids to see us united. The therapist turns to me. How do you feel hearing that? I look at my wife, who's sitting stiffly on the couch, hands in her lap. I'm here because I love my kids, I say. But what she's describing isn't peace. It's an encore performance. We are not a family. We are two separate homes that share children. I'm okay with civil. I'm not okay with her sitting at my table like nothing happened. My ex's face crumples. So that's it? You're just going to keep punishing me forever? I'm not punishing you, I answer. I just finally believe your actions. You lied, cheated, and actively tried to alienate the kids from me. Peace doesn't mean pretending none of that happened. Peace means boundaries so it never happens again. She turns to the therapist. See? This is what I deal with. I offer an olive branch and he sets it on fire. The therapist pauses. It sounds like you're asking for a level of closeness he's not comfortable with, she says carefully. Making amends doesn't entitle you to access. You can want forgiveness. You can't demand relationship. My ex stares at her like she's betrayed the sisterhood. So he wins, she snaps. He gets the house, the wife, the kids, and I get… What? Emails? I shrug. Pretty much. She stands up, grabs her purse, and storms out mid-session, muttering about how therapy is rigged against mothers. Later, the therapist asks if I want to schedule another family session, with just the kids and my wife. Yeah, I say. That sounds like actual healing. My ex wanted peace as a stage. I gave her reality instead, with an audience that wouldn't clap on cue. Story 13. My ex tried to make peace because her 12-step program told her to. We didn't divorce because of cheating. We divorced because of addiction. Alcohol, pills, lies, wrecked cars, disappearing for nights, draining savings. I begged her to get help. She refused until the judge made rehab a condition of seeing our kids unsupervised. She finally went. While she was gone, life at home got quiet. Boring. Stable. I realized I liked boring. 6 months later, I'm at home making dinner when I get a message. Hi. I'm working step 9, making amends. My sponsor says I need to apologize face-to-face. Would you meet me at the park? It's for my recovery. I agree, but I bring my brother. I'm not doing this alone. She shows up sober, clear-eyed, thinner. She reads from a folded piece of paper, voice shaking. I'm sorry I chose alcohol over our family, she reads. I'm sorry I endangered our children while driving intoxicated. I'm sorry I spent our savings. I'm sorry I lied and called you controlling when you tried to help. I'm sorry I made you the bad guy so I didn't have to look at myself. It's the most honest thing I've ever heard from her. Then she folds the paper and looks at me, hopeful. I'm working really hard, she says. I go to meetings every day. The girls deserve a sober mom. You deserve a better version of me. I know we can't undo what happened, but maybe we can start over. I'd love to do family days. Maybe dinners at your place? Holidays together eventually? There it is again. The jump from, I'm sorry to, so now you owe me access. I'm glad you're sober, I say. Truly. The girls need that. I forgive you. Her eyes light up. So, we can try being a family again? No, I reply. I forgive you so I don't have to hate you every time I drop the kids off. I forgive you so I can sleep at night. But you and I are done. We're co-parents, nothing more. She frowns. That's not very supportive of my recovery. My brother actually snorts. Your recovery is your responsibility, I say. Not my reward. I'll support you being a good mom to our daughters. I'll coordinate schedules and emergencies. But you don't get to come into my house, sit at my table, and pretend we're some inspirational comeback story. She looks at me like I slapped her. So after everything I've done to change, you still see me as the monster. I see you as a person who finally stopped being a monster, I answer. That doesn't mean I forget what it felt like to live with one. She left upset, told her sponsor I refused to make amends properly. The sponsor later emailed me, to her credit, and said, "You responded exactly how you needed to." Boundaries aren't resentment. My ex wanted step 9 to come with a reunion special. Instead, she got a clean, sober no. I hope she stays sober. I hope she lives a long life. Just not in my living room. Story 14. My ex tried to make peace when her TikTok narrative blew up in her face. After the divorce, she built an online persona as the tiny, brave single mom abandoned by her evil ex. She posted vague videos about escaping narcissistic abuse, crying in her car, co-parenting with a controlling ex, all that. Never said my name, but anyone local knew. I didn't respond. I focused on my kid, on work, on trying not to Google my own life in hashtag form. Then our teenage daughter got TikTok. At first, she ignored it. Then one of her friends sent her a compilation of her own mother's videos. My kid watched herself being used as a prop in posts about when your child is scared to go to dad's house, complete with sad music. Our daughter snapped. She made exactly one video. No tears, no music. Just her deadpan. "Hi," she says. "I'm the daughter in those abusive ex videos. My dad never hit or screamed at anyone. My mom cheated, lied in court, and tried to cut him out of my life. He still showed up for every visit and never said a bad word about her in front of me. So if you're sending her money because you think she's a victim, maybe stop." The thing went viral. People in the comments turned on my ex instantly. "So you've been lying? You used your kid for clout?" Her follower count tanked. Brands quietly unfollowed. 2 days later, I get a long text from my ex. "We need to talk. I want to make peace and present a united front. People online are attacking me and it's hurting our daughter. If you would publicly support me, or at least say we've both made mistakes, it would calm things down. I'm willing to apologize if we can move forward. In other words, help me clean this up." I respond, "I'm willing to discuss this with a mediator present. Not over text, not online." She insists on a call. I refuse. Finally, we end up on a 3-way Zoom with a co-parenting counselor. She cries, talks about online harassment, mental health, how cancel culture is dangerous. Then she turns to the real ask. "I just think it would help if he posted something too," she says. "Maybe like, we both made mistakes but we're co-parenting peacefully now. It would end the feeding frenzy. For our daughter's sake." I shake my head. "I won't lie for you." Again, the counselor asks, "What would you be comfortable with?" "I'm comfortable with silence," I say. I've been silent for years while she lied. Our daughter finally told the truth. I'm not going to undermine that to rehab your brand. You want peace? Stop posting. Go private. Be a mom offline for once. My ex gapes at me. "So you'll just let them destroy me? After everything we had? You destroyed yourself," I answer. "My silence was my gift to you. You spun it into content. That gift is over." She accused me of enjoying her downfall. The counselor gently pointed out that I hadn't posted anything, hadn't commented, hadn't liked a single video. I logged off that call feeling something weird, calm. She tried to make peace when the internet turned on her. I rejected it. Not with a smear campaign, but with the same thing I'd given her from the start, the truth. On mute. Story 15. My ex tried to make peace by sending a letter through her lawyer. We've been divorced 6 years. No kids. Clean break on paper, messy as hell in reality. She cheated with my best friend, emptied our savings, and then sued me for spousal support because I forced her to be a stay-at-home wife, while she was very busy not being at home. Judge denied support, split assets, told us both to move on. I did. New city, new job, new relationship. She stayed in our hometown, bouncing between boyfriends and jobs. Out of nowhere, I get an email from a local law firm. Subject line: settlement and reconciliation proposal. For half a second, my stomach drops. Did I forget some financial loose end? Attached is a PDF. It's not a lawsuit. It's a letter from her, written in this grand, flowery language on her lawyer's letterhead. She formally acknowledges the pain she caused. She deeply regrets the affair, the lies in court, the smear campaign. She takes full responsibility and requests an opportunity to make amends and pursue restorative peace. Then it gets weird. Under a section literally titled Terms of Reconciliation, she lists requests. A joint statement to close friends and family, acknowledging that both parties contributed to the breakdown of the marriage. A shared post on social media, clarifying that accusations made during the divorce were said in anger and do not reflect current reality. A commitment to attend at least 3 joint therapy sessions to explore the possibility of rebuilding a friendship. There's even a line about how public clarity would significantly help her professional and social reputation. At the end, Her lawyer encourages me to respond within 14 days so she can find closure and peace. I call my own lawyer, thinking this has to be some trap. He laughs. She basically tried to draft a peace treaty with PR clauses, he says. You're under no obligation to respond at all. But if you want, I can send a one-sentence reply. I think about it for a day. Then I decide I'm tired of having this ghost float around in my head. We send back, Mr. X has moved on with his life and does not wish to engage in any form of personal, public, or therapeutic relationship with Ms. I now or in the future. He considers the matter closed and requests no further contact, no apology, no joint statement. Just a legal no. 2 weeks later, I get a raging email from her personal account, which my lawyer forwards because I've blocked her. You couldn't even meet me halfway? I humbled myself and you hide behind a lawyer? You're pathetic. I hope you never find peace like this. Thing is, I already had. Her acceptance letter to drama school came back rejected. She just didn't like the casting on the final act. Me as the guy who walked off stage without delivering the lines she wrote for him. Story 16. My ex tried to make peace at my son's graduation because she wanted the photos. She walked out when our boy was 11, moved in with her affair partner across town, called maybe once a week, skipped birthdays if they conflicted with work trips. In court, she said I was emotionally unsafe, so she could get more child support. Judge gave me primary custody anyway. She faded into Disneyland mom status. Big gifts, rare visits, no actual parenting. Fast forward 7 years. My son is graduating high school, top 10% of his class. I bought the suit, sat through the rehearsals, helped write his speech. He gave me the first ticket. The second, he reluctantly gave to her. She is still my mom, he said. Fine. I swallowed it. After the ceremony, everyone swarms the field for pictures. I hug my son, try not to cry. Then I hear that voice. There's my handsome graduate. She appears in a dramatic dress and ridiculous heels for a football field. Arms wide, gift bag ready. She hugs him, kisses his cheek, then immediately looks at me. We need a picture, she says, the three of us. For peace. For him, my son awkwardly glances at me. I let them take a picture together first. That's their relationship to figure out. Then she insists, okay, now one with mom and dad. United front. New chapter. Right, babe? She's talking to my son but staring at me. I shake my head. No thanks. I'm good. Her smile drops. Seriously? You're going to be petty on his big day? I step closer, keeping my voice even. This is his big day, not your rebrand. She gets louder. I'm trying to make peace. I've been working on myself. I know I wasn't perfect, but we brought this amazing human into the world together. My son cuts her off. Mom, stop. She blinks. Excuse me? He takes a breath, voice shaking. Dad was at every game, every parent-teacher meeting, every 3 a.m. Meltdown about exams. You weren't? I'll take a picture with you. I'm not forcing him to. She turns to me, desperate. You really won't do one picture? For our son? I look at him, not her. You already got your picture, I say. And I'm proud of you. That's enough. The photographer, some kid from the yearbook club, hesitates. My son says firmly, just me and dad now, please. Click. My ex stands there, tears forming, realizing there will never be a framed, happy broken family shot on her wall. Just one of her and a son who grew up without her, and one of me and the same kid who knows exactly who stayed. She tried to make peace when there was a camera ready. I rejected it by stepping out of frame. Story 17. My ex tried to make peace when the affair partner kicked her out and she had nowhere to go. When she left, she took our car, half the furniture, and the apartment I'd found and furnished. She told everyone she'd finally escaped my controlling ways. In reality, I worked 2 jobs while she played entrepreneur on Instagram and flirted with a mentor. Mentor became boyfriend. Boyfriend became landlord. She moved into his condo. I took a crappy room with roommates and started over. 2 years later, at 11 p.m. On a Tuesday, my phone rings. It's her? I let it go to voicemail. Then she texts, emergency. Please answer. It's important. Against my better judgment, I call back. She's crying, wind in the background. He kicked me out, she sobs. He's a monster. He threw my stuff in the hallway. I have nowhere to go. I've been walking for an hour. I'm sorry for everything I did to you. I just want peace. Can I please stay with you tonight? Just the couch. I swear, old me would have grabbed my keys instantly. New me just sits there. Where are you? I ask. She gives me a street corner a few blocks from my place. That explains how she thought of me. I'll come meet you, I say. She brightens. Thank you, thank you. I knew you were still a good... I'm not bringing you back to my apartment, I cut in, but I'll walk you to a hotel and pay for a room for the night. That's it. She goes silent. You'd really leave your ex-wife alone in a hotel? After everything we had? You left your husband alone with a bunch of debts you didn't bother to pay, I reply. This is more kindness than you ever gave me. She scoffs. So this is your revenge? Petty. Even for you. I meet her on the corner. She looks small, makeup smeared, dragging a suitcase. For a second, I remember the woman I proposed to. Then I remember reading bank statements with charges I didn't make while she posted self-love quotes. We walk in silence to a budget hotel. I pay for one night. At the desk, she whispers, "Can't we just talk? Try to find some kind of peace? It feels so wrong for us to be strangers." We're not strangers, I say. Strangers don't have the power to hurt each other like that. We're just done. She glares. You'll regret this when you're old and alone. I hand her the room key. Trust me, I say. I already did my time being alone next to you. I went home to my crappy room and slept like a rock for the first time in years. Making peace didn't mean rehousing the person who burned my life down. It meant finally believing I deserved a locked door. Story 18. My ex tried to make peace in front of HR. We worked at the same company when everything blew up. She had an affair with our married manager, then claimed she'd been groomed when things turned sour. I was the one who found the messages, confronted both, and ended up labeled unprofessional for bringing personal drama into the workplace. I transferred departments. She stayed. Our manager eventually left to pursue other opportunities. We divorced. I focused on my new team and avoided her like a landmine. Then HR announces they're doing a culture initiative after some anonymous complaints. Selected employees are invited to a roundtable about healing and accountability. I get an invite. Guess who's on the list too? In the meeting, HR ladles out corporate empathy. We know there's been tension in the past, the rep says. We want a safe space for repair. Everyone nods vaguely. Then my ex raises her hand. I actually want to start, she says. I've been doing a lot of reflecting. I know I created turbulence here. I hurt my ex-husband, I hurt the team, and I let my personal life spill into work. I'd like to make peace and move forward professionally, especially with him. She gestures at me. HR looks thrilled. That's very brave, the rep chirps. Would you be open to responding? My name? Every eye turns to me. I take a breath. I'm glad she's reflecting, I say carefully. I genuinely am. But peace doesn't mean pretending we're fine. We're not friends. We're not allies. We're co-workers who share a history that made this place a nightmare for me for a long time. My ex gives this wounded smile. I'm not asking to be friends, she says. Just to know we've turned the page. Maybe grab coffee sometime? Talk like adults? I hate thinking you still resent me. I look directly at HR. Here's what I need to do my job well, I say. Clear boundaries. No coffee. No personal chats. No catching up. Work emails only when strictly necessary. I don't resent her. I just don't trust her. And trust isn't required to do my job. The room goes awkwardly quiet. HR rep tries to smooth it over. So, professional peace, rather than personal reconciliation. That's valid. My ex's voice sharpens. So you're just going to hold this over my head forever? I shrug. You're the one who brought it into the workplace. I'm just declining your sequel. After the meeting, she corners me in the hallway. That made me look terrible, she hisses. I came in vulnerable and you shot me down in front of HR. You chose HR as your audience, I reply. Next time, try a therapist. She walked away muttering about how I'll never grow. Meanwhile, HR emailed later to say they appreciate my candor and will ensure we're not staffed on the same projects. Peace, in the end, looked less like a shared coffee and more like separate calendars. Story 19. My ex tried to make peace by going through my new wife. When we divorced, she went full scorched earth. Accused me of cheating. I wasn't. Told my family I had a gambling problem. I don't. And claimed in court that my temper was dangerous because I once slammed a door. Judge saw through a lot of it, but the damage to relationships lingered. Years later, I got remarried. My new wife is calm, grounded, nothing like the chaos tornado I used to live with. We keep a firm boundary. All contact with my ex goes through the parenting app. Then one day my wife gets a DM on Instagram from a burner account with my ex's face in the profile picture. Hey, I know this is weird, it starts, but I wanted to reach out woman to woman. Already a red flag. She goes on. She's deeply sorry for how she treated me. She regrets letting resentment turn into lies, and she never meant to make your husband look like a monster. She says therapy has made her realize she projected her own guilt onto me. So far, fine. Then, I would love to meet you for coffee. Just us, to clear the air. I want us to be a team for the kids. Maybe you can help him forgive me. He listens to you. All I want is peace. My wife shows me the message. You want me to answer? She asks. Up to you, I say. You don't owe her anything. My wife types, reads it out loud as she goes. Hi, I'm glad you're getting help, she writes. But I'm not going to be your bridge back into his life. Co-parenting goes through the app. I won't be meeting privately or mediating your relationship. Peace for us means distance. 2 minutes later, reply. So you're controlling him now too? My ex fires back. I knew he'd pick someone who likes to isolate men from their families. I was extending an olive branch. You're choosing drama. My wife just smiles, blocks the account, and screenshots everything into the parenting app with a simple caption. For documentation. Please keep communication about the children here. My ex explodes in the app, accusing me of letting my new wife dictate everything, calling her insecure and manipulative. I respond once. Any future messages attacking my wife will be forwarded to my attorney. Co-parenting only. She goes quiet. Later that night, I thanked my wife for how she handled it. She shrugged. She wanted you to forgive her so she could feel better, she said. Not so your life would be easier. I'm not helping her get that. My ex's version of peace required my new wife to play therapist, PR agent, and forgiveness pipeline. Instead, she got a polite, firm no and a new understanding. The gate she used to walk through whenever she felt guilty is locked, and my wife holds a copy of the key I finally made for myself.